When I was young, I had it all planned out, that something big was down the road. I really thought I'd have it all by now, not be a failure.
I'm Titus. I'm from Nigeria, Edo State, from the south region of Nigeria. I'm an Asian boy. At the moment, I'm in Berlin, Germany. And then I work. I'm a content creator. I have a full-time job as a technician at Tesla. Yeah. Growing up in Nigeria, it's really tough. We know Nigeria for the hustling and bustling, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nigeria is a country you have to be strong. Nigeria is a country where there is hate, where there is anarchy, tribalism, nepotism. And growing up in such a country, you have to have a strong heart. And I grew up in a very well-nuclear family. My father was a police officer. My mother, then she wasn't working. So in Nigeria, things really are tough, especially when you have no one abroad, no one in the diaspora that is supporting, that's like a life support. It's really difficult. So growing up there was really tough, and really, believe me, being the first son of my family, I had to do a lot of stuff to help my younger ones. You know, grew up from a family of 6, and being the firstborn, I have to do a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of menial jobs, from the bricklaying, the clearing of bushes, farmlands, just name the type of job I didn't do in Nigeria, just to support my family. So, and here I am right now in Germany. So really, it was a tough journey growing up in Nigeria. But like they say, in Nigeria, it's for the brave. You have to be strong. The turning point for me making the decision of going to Russia was basically after I tried several attempts to gain an admission into the university, then Delta State University Abraka, because I live in Edo State, and also Delta State is also part of the south region of Nigeria. There you have to see how the tribalism comes in, because I wasn't from this region. I mean the Delta region. I wasn't able to get the admission, despite the fact that I got out with a good grades and everything. The JAMB examination was very good. Then I managed to have my diploma results, and I also did a pre-degree, and believe me, it was kind of like frustrating. So also to help my family, being the first son of my family of 6, I need to also support my parents. So that was the reason why I decided to move to Russia. Of course, Russia wasn't my first attempt. I attempted to go to Italy at first, and also attempted to go to the US for study as well. But all this didn't come to fruition. That after several attempts, and then I moved to Russia. This was a turning point just to support my family. When I first moved to Russia, I was surprised, I was shocked with the weather. Weather was the first shock that I had there because it was October ending towards November. That was when I moved to Russia in 2011. That was when I moved to Russia. It was like the winter season just coming in. So right from the airport, I experienced the cold. Then I took a train from Moscow, Domodedovo Airport. I took a train from Moscow to Samara. The train was about 18 hours, which is about 1,000 kilometers. It was a good train. That was where I experienced my first shock, because the people in the train, they never understood English, and for me, I don't understand them. So they were friendly, laughing, smiling, inviting me to eat with them, offering me some food, some juice, name it, because with me, I wasn't having anything. You know, just imagine somebody coming into the country from Nigeria with no no language at all. So, but I had my address, so I had already my ticket, because I already had someone in Moscow that, you know, booked all these tickets for me. So my first shock was the language, and I was really shocked that there are people in this world that don't understand English at all. So, and living in Russia was, I say my time there was okay, it was very good. I had no regret whatsoever living in Russia. Racism. This word racism, I think, is most of the time blown out of context, because in Nigeria, like I said, coming from Nigeria, there are a lot of families that hate themselves. Brother hating brother, sister hating sister, even brother sometimes killing sister, and vice versa. It happens. So would you call that racism? But my time in Russia was different. I never experienced one bit of racism. Never. I never, because I didn't feel any form of discrimination whatsoever. I traveled to places. I was not sitting in just Samara. I traveled, I was working there, though my job was about kind of like entertainment, you know. That was the only way I could survive, because then the language was really a big thing. You have to speak the language so as to work, and then students weren't allowed to work. This was very tough. Other than that, the people, Russian people, they were so friendly. They like to interact with you, despite the fact that most of them, like I said, they don't understand English. But then, of course, after a while, I studied the language. I could communicate with them. There was no form of racism, to be sincere. Yes, you see people come to meet you. They want to take a photograph with you. They want to like interact with you. And sometimes, even when you say no, they offer to give you money. Would I call that racism? I wouldn't call that. Also, I was able to move to any party that I wanted. I went to a lot various clubs, and it's not as if I was just sitting in my hostel studying and never experienced the world. During my time in Russia, I think I have traveled to more than 7 states in Russia. So there was never a time I went to somebody or I asked for help that this person said no, I don't want to talk with you and everything. There's one interesting thing in Russia as well I want to share. In Russia, so many people don't understand the word nigger. Sometimes they call you nigger, the N word. You're like, what's it? It's like they don't see anything wrong with that, because why? They said this was how they were taught in school. So when they say this, I try to educate them on it. Say, oh, we are very sorry. We never meant to discriminate you or call you names or whatsoever. This was how we were taught in school. So for them, calling you that was just a form of, you know, calling your attention, for example, or like just, you know, making friend with you. So when you explain all of this to them, they're like, oh, we are very sorry. We never meant to, you know, to say it this way. So that was something very shocking. And also with the friends that you are even going out with, they don't understand the word nigger or where it came from. So that was very, very interesting, that thing I found in Russia as well. Also the food, fantastic. The women over there, lovely. And trust me, going to Russia was never boring for me. It wasn't boring at all. Trust me. Well, as at 2017, 2018, to become a Russian citizen, the Russian government made it, simplified it. It's either you graduate from, you have a bachelor's degree and you came out with like A1, like in Russia it's called red diploma. Once you have that, you are entitled to have a Russian citizen. That is of your choice. If you want, you can have it. Like it's there. Just apply and you'll be given the Russian citizenship. Another thing to have a Russian citizenship is when you're married, of course, and you have kids. That's another step. And the third step then was, after you have lived in Russia for more than 5 years, you could apply and you'll be granted the citizenship. Of course, it's a process. It's not something you just go immediately and you have it. So it takes process and documentation, you know. And again, you have to speak the language, go through of course, have to learn the language, and there's a language exams you have to pass before you can be granted the Russian citizenship and the passport. So, but other than that, the process was pretty simple, and these are the things that you will have. It doesn't require you to have a lot of money in your bank account or to have some crazy amount of documents or from home, from wherever. No, like these 3 things that I made mention of. It's either you're married, you've stayed there more than 5 years, like staying in Russia more than 5 years, not just staying illegal, legal. You have to be legal, you know. And also, like I said, having a red diploma. It's called Krasny diploma. What would I have done differently? I think what I would have done differently is maybe not getting married on time, and also getting into more of agricultural products, because in Russia this is a big business. As a businessman in Russia, you are rich. Most businesses in Russia are majorly on the agricultural product. We have the timber, we have of course the refineries and the crude stuff. They are majorly owned by the government, but citizens are always involved, and they get good pay from the agro product, the wheat, grains to be precise, wheat, you know. And with this, I would have gone into that business. I did it, but it wasn't like very successful. And also in Russia, you still have to be very careful, because Russia, I would say Russia is like Nigeria as well. It's struggling. People there are still struggling, and you have to be aware that there are also people that want to take your money, you know. But that doesn't mean they are racism. It's racism, but it's just like they'll take advantage of you and go away with your money. So when doing businesses there, you have to be very careful. Go through the right channel and make sure you follow the due process. Don't always follow the back door, because the shortcuts might be disastrous to you. So this is what I would have maybe done differently, and focus more on the language, because once you have that language, you are really set to do exploit. Because like I said, Russians over there, they want to like employ you so as to have that knowledge of English, so that you can communicate with the clients they are having abroad. So it's also a very good advantage to have, in as much you have the Russian language very well and also speak good English. So with this, you are set, and you can do a lot of things within Russia. My advice to people that want to come to Russia from Nigeria is, number one, if you are in the field of engineering, aircraft, medicine, medical field, yes, Russia is the best place for you. Trust me, because you get first-hand experience to all of this. You are given the practicals. You are being shown the practicals over there, you know. So, and also when preparing to go to Russia, make sure understand the fact that you are going there to study with Russian language, not English. Most people get confused about this, because as soon as they start learning the Russian language, you see them, oh, I don't like the language is frustrating, this is this. No, just try to enjoy it. Study it very well. Pay full attention to the language. In as much you do this, you're good to go. And yeah, like I said, in Russia, the government supports foreign personnel, foreign students. You get a lot of support from them. You are not left alone. And other than that, just get yourself prepared as a student, and make sure you study very well, because as soon as you study very well, there is always a reward for you. And even if it doesn't work, Russian certificate is well recognized worldwide. You can easily work with it anywhere you go, just like I am right now in Germany. I'm using my Russian certificate, so that is it.